What's up, Cap? Are we live, man?
We're live, buddy. We're live. Let's
All
go.
right. Man, it's October, right? First week of October. Air is starting to feel a little cooler here. It's no longer 95 degrees. Can you believe that? We've had 95 degrees the last couple of weeks every day.
That's insane, bro. Insane.
Mornings. Yeah, I get a little jacket on in the mornings, or I feel like I need a jacket at least. Like it's cool. I like the weather.
It's 56 right here, right now, with the sun
Typically that'd be
shining.
too cold, but,
It's a little
but
chilly.
one thing I like about October is it starts to feel more and more like Christmas season, at least for us. I mean, I start putting on my Christmas shoes. We're doing Christmas quotes. We're getting all of our processes and systems ready for Christmas. October it was one of the most profitable months out of the year for us.
Yeah, October is great when it comes to Christmas because you have, 95% it's reinstall clients that are already, using you. You already have maps for the job. You already have the product all laid out. It's just like October is a good month and people start really thinking about Christmas. Phone starts ringing. I was just actually saying on the Illuminati Club with our secret society of Illuminati members, um, the fourth quarter in general, October, November, December, is a great time for lighting guys. Whether you're Christmas, landscaping, or soffit lighting, or all three of them, it is the time of year that every single person is thinking about lights outside, and it's amazing. So if you're not excited about fourth quarter as a lighting guy, Christmas or not, you're out of your mind. It is. I love it. Everyone is thinking about putting lights somewhere on their property during these next 3 months, and it's exciting.
That's funny you say that. Like we were just outside my back patio. We just finished up like this water feature. We built this cool deck around the water feature. I got to show you pictures.
Yeah.
Waterfall. It's pretty dope. But I was just thinking, like, good gosh, we need more lights now that we actually want to sit outside and it's a little cool at night and the skeeters aren't quite as bad. It gets darker earlier. It's like, I'm thinking I need more lights. And we already have like 100. So,
Yeah.
so
And you get like 12 hours of darkness right now, and we'll be at half the day or more in darkness until like March or April. Like, it's a great time of year as a lighting guy. Great time, no matter where you live.
we're gonna hold our Christmas training event, right, for our team at our house this year, right? And we've got a big warehouse and our storage unit and everything on the back of the property. We have 8 acres, but we decided this year, like, we're just gonna do our house really, really well, and do some training over it.
Awesome.
Well, my wife gets pissed every year. She's, aren't you the Christmas guy? Like, why is it like visual style?
Yeah.
It gets too busy. If I don't do it early on, it's never gonna get done.
Yeah, it's important if you're the owner. Your house better look like you're the owner. No matter all the services you offer, better be on that property. Because otherwise you don't believe in your own product or service. And that's crazy. But speaking of that, training and everything, you're at $4 a foot for Christmas. What? Just kidding. I just wanted a good clip.
That's so funny you say that, because one of our glow geekers in Boise was saying he's really coming across that as a problem, getting people quoting 4.25 and 475 per foot. And this is like a big company with overhead. I think they just made a mathematical mistake, or they didn't measure it correctly, or maybe he's over measuring. Whatever the case is, I feel like it's a mistake. But how do you handle that? When you're competing against it, customer says from a reputable company, right? It's easy to dismiss just a chuck in a truck type scenario. But if it's like a reputable company, they've got 100 plus reviews, they've got a sales guy. How would you combat that? In your coaching circles. I'm going to open this door. I feel like I'm really echoey. Is my audio super echoey?
I mean, you're always a little echoey. But go ahead and open
It
it.
is, right? I mean, even when I plug my mic in, it never seems to work. I'm just in an echoey room. But if I open the door, it's less echoey. But I'm listening. Answer that.
Yeah. So, I encourage everyone to, not really care about other people's pricing. So far too often, we all get caught in this thing about comparing pricing and, oh, you should be at 8, you should be at 10, you should be at 12. I'm at 4. You're ripping people off. You're ruining the industry. It's just this endless nonsense of just shit that gets spoken about. focus on your own company and what you provide. So I don't care if the competitor is more expensive or less expensive than me. I am not selling the lights. I'm not selling Christmas lights. I'm not selling any of my lights, right? We're selling the experience. So when that person calls up for Christmas lights, what does that call look like? Like, let's examine if you are losing bids, let's examine why. It's not price. People buy from people, and price is a thing, but it can easily be overcome because people buy on emotion. They'll justify logically, but the emotion is what people buy on. So are you, from that first call, are you actually anchoring them into why they're calling you? The fact that, oh, is this what your parents did for you? Did your parents do all this Christmas decor for you? Do you want your kids coming home to a magical home and talking about this until their adulthood? How you used to have the Christmas guys come and do our family's decorating and give you that time back with your family. So instead of worrying about untangling lights or spending Christmas in the emergency room or on crutches, I am giving them back their time to make family memories. That's not some bullshit line we use for marketing. It is the God's honest truth. We're going to give you something that you and your family are going to remember forever. We literally are becoming part of that family's holiday traditions. And I don't know if people put enough weight on that. It's not just Christmas lights. These families are inviting you in to become part of their family's holiday traditions. And I don't take that lightly. Every single client, no matter how small or how big, that is huge. We all have our traditions and they're inviting us to be a part of it. So if you're just answering the phone and doing all these quotes as if it's just lights, it's just Christmas lights, I'm competing on price, you're going to lose every time if you're not the low guy. Unless you get, hey, yeah, I'm available tomorrow. There comes that time swap. But stop competing on price, stop selling Christmas lights and sell an experience and sell the people their time back. And I don't care how much you charge. You put that message correctly, you're going to get people that are going to hire you.
I think it reminds me of Eminem. Yeah, it has a song. You only get one
Of course.
shot, right?
Yeah.
You only get one shot. They're only having family over, that one morning, Christmas morning, the day after Thanksgiving, or the Christmas party that they're having, right? Like there's only a handful of nights between Thanksgiving and Christmas that like really matter. And
Yeah.
you're selling that experience that the lights are going to work, or you're going to be there to fix it. I mean, that's like the guarantee, right? Like it has to work. You have to create the memory for that, like, one photo op moment that they're looking forward to. I think
Yeah.
you mentioned it on our Illuminati Lounge call. I even took notes because it was just gold. And it's something just to kind of get in that mindset with our team. So in our next meeting, I'm going to make sure and go over it that we are creating experience from being overly enthusiastic, or maybe even have like a little Christmas jingle when we answer the phone. We'll kind of go over, but not just from the phone answer, but from the salesperson, from the install crew, having Christmas music on, handing
Yep.
out candy canes, just the whole experience is what you called it. Man, I really like that. Took really good notes.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a point. That's really why I became like the Christmas guy. It's why, even barefoot lighting, how I have, about the demos I do where I'll bring mixed drinks and, coolers and I give them like this whole experience because I learned that from Christmas. Because anyone else that started just selling Christmas lights, I don't care if they're $2 a foot. No one provides what I provide, right? Like literally, I'm excited when you call. Literally, I'm excited that you give me the job. Literally, I'm excited that we're decorating for you. I've handed out hot cocoa and candy canes since year one, playing Christmas music since year one. Right? You don't think every neighbor pays attention? You don't think when that family comes out to run out to their mailbox or car, it's just magical. Think about nostalgia is a hell of a drug. When you come out of your house and you hear Christmas music and you see these guys, all in red or green shirts and they're decorating, that transports you somewhere. And that feels so good. That's more than just a contractor mowing your yard, cutting down your trees. Like that's everything. They're going to be transported back into. I remember when I was helping my dad put up Christmas lights, or Aunt Susie. Do you remember what she used to do at her house? Like, man, stop fucking selling on the foot. like sell the experience. You'll change your life.
Well said. I think also, what you mentioned, and I 100% agree with on the Illuminati Lounge call, anyone who's selling lights that cheap is going to book up super fast, right? Because they're the cheapest guy. And if they're trying, well, then they will book up fast. I love saving room in November. We try so hard at getting people to install in October and early November and like ASAP. So we're never booked out. Cause like it's the most golden calendar real estate of the entire year, the week
Yeah, it
before
is.
and the week after Thanksgiving. Like you're not a repeat customer getting that slot. And a couple of them do, right? Because they're just big clients and we give them that, priority calendar real estate. But otherwise, it's 100% blocked off for new guys because there's always that one customer that wants to spend $4,000 or $5,000 and can you get it done this week?
Yep.
You want to be able to say yes. People stop asking, how much is it? And they start turning that to when can you get them up?
Yeah.
In
I see
November,
it.
I start seeing that switch.
I've had clients that want to use me at my higher price that literally say, "Man, well, this guy, like, he's not the guy I want to use, but he can get me done this week." I can't fault them for that, right? There is that switch, and it gets as soon as the closer we get to Thanksgiving, the closer that switch. You can actually be the worst person ever, have no experience, horrible phone etiquette, and still fill up your schedule in those couple weeks around Thanksgiving.
I think an affluent customer is like mapping that out, right? Okay, there's only 25 days until Christmas, and you're trying to charge me 2,500. That means I'm paying $100 a day. So if this person can get me up 4 days earlier, well, then it's worth paying the extra $4. So that's what I'm
Sure.
paying for per day anyway. So there's some kind of justification in their mind. Just like no one wants to spend 2,500 2 weeks before Christmas. It's very rare you get those big ones.
Yeah. Oh no, you do when the in-laws are coming over and the husband forgot, or they're having a holiday party that just turned into a holiday party. I
Yeah,
love those calls.
there's
Absolutely love
there's
them.
there's always a couple, I should say. There's just never a couple dozen.
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I just for sure.
awesome. I also kind of wrote down some thoughts, right? As we're just kind of getting ready in Christmas season. We have our company meetings, right, every Wednesday morning. Uh, so like I have it fresh in my mind to go over one thing that we always teach and preach, like on our team, is when you
Mhm.
get a hot lead, or you got to call it immediately. Drop everything you're doing and call that lead when it comes in. I'm talking about like it gets emailed, someone emails you, refers you, it's a Facebook lead. They go to your website, fill out the thing, and you get a lead. What home advisor lead, Angie's List lead, whatever the lead is, you got to drop everything you're doing, call it within 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was funny. Right as we were starting this podcast, I actually said, "Hold on, Shane, give me a second," because Emma was like, "Call me, call me, call me." I'm like, "Okay, this." She knows I'm on the podcast. She had a client on the phone that wanted to deposit. They haven't even gotten a price yet. She literally was like, "I am ready. I know you've done my friend's house. Let's do this. Like, just send me the invoice. I will pay right now." So yeah, you know what? I dropped everything I was doing, and we made sure that that's I'm sure it's going on in the background as we speak. I'll be getting a little ding from a deposit, right? Uh, but yeah, especially for Christmas time, when like you were just talking about, there might be 25 days of enjoyment of these lights. It's usually more than that, right? But um, if you don't call them back that day, especially on a Friday, and you don't call them all weekend, so many times that person will literally have already hired the guy who picked up the phone. Like that can be you are like 75, 80% top tier echelon of a home service business if you answer the damn phone. It's crazy.
100%. I think statistically, I read if you call a lead within the first 5 minutes, you're 80% more likely that that turns into an actual job. Not to book the quote, but turning into an actual job. So normally, first one to call, first one to get to a quote is 80% more likely to get a job. I read a book once. I love the analogy. It was a warm lead. A hot lead is like a warm cookie, just right out of the oven. Right? It's like so much better than if you wait 2 or 3 days and it's old and stale and it's been left out. You have to get to it right away. Can't stress that enough.
Yeah, I agree. And you think about that from your own point of view. Like, why is that so important? Think about when you're hiring a home services provider for anything that you're doing, the guy who calls you back first or answers the phone, like it builds confidence in that person. Like you have no idea who they are, right? They're a contractor. They want to take your money. Your guard is up. So the guy who calls you back right away, a couple minutes, same day, versus the guy who does 3 or 4 or 5 days later, who are you going to trust more when you know nothing about either company? The guy who called you back, right? I know
Yeah,
that's for me.
absolutely. Or if you're like me, right? Like you start searching, like because you and your wife are talking about it in that moment. You're like, let's get a quote, and someone calls you back right away. Like it's still fresh on my mind. I want to. If I wait 2 or 3 days, I don't know. I may start thinking I'm going to do it myself. I'll hire Timmy, my son's friend that's doing Christmas lights. Maybe it's not that important. I'm going to spend that money on something else. Like you got to get to me while my mind's right on it.
Or you
Once
forget it.
they
Forget
change,
about it.
or I forget.
How's that? I just talked to a guy yesterday, and I think he was from last week, right? We just haven't, he hasn't picked up his phone. It wasn't for me not getting in touch with him. But finally, he responded to one of my texts and was like, I don't even know what lights you're talking about. I asked for lights. Like the guy had no memory that he filled out a form. And he
Right.
was, once I told him what it was, he was like, oh, yeah, hell yeah, I want those. But like, it was seven days ago. He filled out that form requesting me to call him, and he had already forgotten. Go to that, right? He was probably in the moment. Oh shit, I want this, and then life goes on. I tell captains, crew guys all the time. We might think about lighting 24/7, 7 days a week. Nobody else does. Like, no, they just don't. They think about it when it's dark out. They think about it not even when it's dark out. They think about it when they have to go outside somewhere to go take the garbage out, check the mail, go get an Amazon package. That's when they think about us. They're not
That
thinking
is
about us.
especially true when it's like a social media lead. Let's use Facebook 'cause that's the biggest lead source, social media wise, that we get. They're
Sure.
scrolling, they see the ad, they click it, and they fill it out. Like they only thought about it in that half a second that they clicked on it,
Yeah.
and then they continued scrolling, right? And they completely forgot that they even did it an hour later. Like those you have to call right away while it's top of mind.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, that's a great point. We're all this scroll society, and you will forget quick. Even you yourself, even I'll forget quick, right? Like, how many times I was like, oh, I want to go read that post I saw. I'll read it later. I don't know. Within 10 minutes, I forget what the post was about, who posted it, and I never go find it again. It's no different for a home service provider.
Oh, I mentioned in the Illuminati Lounge, like the top two things that I think kind of changed uh, our business as far as kind of prepping in early October. Because we start jobs, we don't necessarily, I don't say we full on go into Christmas until the end of the first week or so of October, but like we start jobs, right? September, we're doing commercial jobs. Early October, we're doing Halloween, Christmas type installs. But we fully launched this year. We're fully launching October 9th and 10th. When I say that, we have a company training. And for us, that kind of like launches it for the whole team, not just
Mm,
my lead guys that don't need any training. So on October 9th and 10th, and we started doing this probably a third year doing it. And it's just been really, really helpful. We'll hire our new hires. That's when they're going to start. We'll salespeople, our current team that maybe they've never done a Christmas season, and even our veteran guys. It's just good for a refresher. We have a
sure.
training. I have a slideshow to pictures in the past, things that worked, things that didn't work, and then we go and we install. It's a 2-day event. I'll invite like local competitors to it. Hey, do you want to train your guys? Come on in.
Hmm.
We kind of make it a cool event. We cater it. We have food, and that one like really really teaches the person. It's hard to teach someone on the field on the job training. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not hard, but it's hard to show them every certain scenario that you've just learned over the 5 years. Hey, if you come across sprinklers, you should do this. Hey,
Mhm.
behind a gutter like this, not like this. Hey, when you're coming across this type of a pitch, use this tool. So all the little scenarios that you just don't get to in a week of on-the-job training.
All right.
That was huge for us in limiting the amount of callbacks we have, prepping our team to go out in the field. And then the second thing, so there's one thing, right? Like a solid training, or send them to a paid training that someone else does. I mean, that's still way, way worth it. Second would be we hired a warehouse manager. Now, I guess we didn't do this in the early years when I had 40 clients or something when we were building up. But after you get to, you're doing a couple 100,000 in revenue, you kind of got a good size. Having a morning person, it doesn't have to be full-time at first. It is full-time for us now, but having someone prep all the boxes. Could be a retired military guy that just likes to wake up 4 or 5 in the morning and he's there a few hours before the crew gets there. Could be one of your team guys that wants to get extra hours, or you could hire someone like me. But we have this person, so during the day when we sell a job, they're immediately pulling inventory, making a bucket, putting it in line whenever the install is. And then when the guys come in the morning, they're there in case they need a re-up on glue sticks or staples or any kind of like tool type stuff. They grab their bins, they load up, and they're in and out of there within 15 minutes. They've got pictures of the job through company cam. They've got detailed on where they're going on Jobber. We've already mapped out their route, and then the warehouse admin gets them all loaded up. So they're in and out super quick. Before it was like one guy, the crew leader, getting boxes, pulling everything, checking everything. Is everything in here? Did I get a timer? And then the other one or two guys are standing around doing nothing
Yeah.
for like an hour. And every crew, right, has that. It's like so much wasted time. So having everything prepped and ready to roll was also like a game changer for efficiency.
Yeah. And I started using Warehouse Manager maybe, I don't know, I want to say 7 years ago or so. Started as part-time like you. And boy, did it change, because even you talk about guys standing around, or worse, they try to help. So they're like, oh, I know we need a wreath. So they grab a wreath. The crew lead doesn't know it. Crew lead's looking all over for this guy's wreath. Spend a half hour looking for a wreath that's already in the truck. Right. So all those, it was horrible. Or you forget, or I can't
He
find
grabs
them.
the full white pile of reefs and not
Yeah.
the warm white pile, or he
Yep.
grabs a 48 instead of a 36 or whatever.
Yeah. So we did, we used tape right on the ground. We had like purple, white, and yellow. I think we started off. It doesn't matter, right? But each crew had their own square. So in the morning, everything would be there ready for them to take up. But when they came back for the night, anything that came back was put into their square as well. So the warehouse manager would go through that. And what that helps us with is, sometimes, hey, this client came back with 19 mini strands. Like, wait, what? Why? Super red flag. So it allowed me to find out immediately, like the next day, if the team forgot something, or all of that. So it became great because the comeback would happen, quick count on what's coming back and why. So it was like that checks and balances just help us level out, and for have the guys just be able to come in, grab the stuff, and go. They appreciate it too, and then they come back at night and they don't have to put anything back. They just vomit it into their space. Game changer. And then as they're loading up, right, we have a certain amount of materials that are kept in each truck. So some of the things like males, females, radios, right? There's always a new one for them to take. There's always a new radio, new MP3, fully charged, ready for them to take. They leave the old one, they take the new one. And same thing with like males and females. There's buckets.
You mean so? Hold up, I got a question on that. You're
Yeah.
saying every crew gets their own little radio, like a little Ryobi or a little Milwaukee radio with the battery?
Yep, with an MP3 player with the Christmas music ready to go. Yep, 2 of them actually, because one's in the field and one's charging at all times.
Got it. What brand is it that you use? Is it like a Ryobi or something, or is it?
No, it's some cheap, Amazon, because the guys are always rough on it, right? I mean, I don't know what they do. I always joke, they must play dodgeball with the damn things. Just one of those things that break. So they're just $15, $20 speakers, and $20 MP3 players, nothing crazy because I've lost too many iPods and nice speakers. So
Got it.
lessons learned.
All right, neat. That's
Yeah.
a good way to guarantee they play Christmas music.
Yeah, that's a big thing for me, right? When we sell that experience, if we show up to a job and you don't have that, that's a fireable offense. Like I don't take it lightly. Like this music better be playing at all times. It's not an option. Part of the
So
job.
the MP3 player, you're saying that's like the old iPod or something, where you just have a loop of 20 Christmas songs.
Yeah, then we have like 200 Christmas songs, but it just shuffles it. Yeah, because we used to have them do playlists on their phone, but then, you know, then we're trying to make sure the guys' phones are charged. Plus, then they're using a company cam, trying to play music, phones ringing, all that jazz. So just removing all that or no Wi-Fi and just having a preloaded MP3 player that you hit play on every morning, gold. Or removes so many obstacles.
I like that.
Yeah.
Good tip. Sorry, I totally interrupted you. I think you were finishing, but you probably forgot where you left off.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's the same thing, right? So like if there's if you keep 25 extra mini lights on your truck for warm white at all times, right? Consider having the same deal, right? Like we use a lot of milk crates in some of the trucks we're currently in. Take your milk crate from that day's job or day's work and leave it there and grab the one that's full. That way that truck always has 25 when they leave in the morning, and the warehouse manager can count what's left in that bin. Yeah, you can see, when people are stealing, lost, when we're giving, how many lights were end up getting broken out in the field. It's just a quick checks and balances that's super easy. Because if you send someone, we all know there's theft, right? Like people take the lights and they do their own home. It happens all the time. So if you go out for a day and it's all multicolor and you come back with no warm white, well, what happened? Or vice versa. Usually the actual case. You're
Yeah.
doing warm white and you come back with no multi. Why?
If you don't have a dedicated spot for the crew leaders to put their stuff like in the same square, like you mentioned, they end up throwing it all over the warehouse, in the office. There's gum wrappers and cigarette butts and broken clips. And you're like, where did this come from? Or like, there's 19 strands of minis. Like, where is this bin? Who put this here?
Oh
What
yeah.
customer did that go to? So having a dedicated spot for each truck is super helpful too.
Yeah. And I will say, it's not all sunshines and roses. It is like for October. Uh, but once the heat of the season and we get the hell week, which we call the week before Thanksgiving, you have the most amount of incoming calls, you have the most amount of jobs that are gonna get done, and you have a hard deadline. There's no moving that deadline. Um, maybe those squares don't stay perfect squares. Let's be real, right? Like it still gets crazy. Sometimes in like, we might need a secondary warehouse person in like November, like just to help the full timer because prepping jobs, and we still have runners, right? There's a runner. We do our best, but still people forget stuff or something breaks in the field, right? I'd rather have a runner than have that crew leave the
Yeah.
job site.
Well, that's where our warehouse manager comes in handy, at least. He's our runner.
Yeah.
He drops kind of what he's doing and runs stuff. If he made a mistake or customers like, no, I said multicolored this year and we came with warm white last year. It happens.
Oh, 100%.
I'd say
100%.
every year, like you said, hell week. Like every year, I think once it turns Thanksgiving, you are 100% burnt out at Christmas. And you're just like, when is this season going to end? Happens every year, but it gets less and less the more organized, and the more trained your team is. I think once you have guys that have been around for 3 or 4 seasons, it really starts to become a little more fun because they're trained. You don't have to hire so much. You don't have as many callbacks.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you got to have limits in place. That's what I learned because I never learned limits, right? I said yes to every job. I always push. I'd burn my guys out quick, right? Everyone was like 7 days a week, like 12, 14 hours a day, every day. Boom, boom, boom. There's money to be made. There's money to be made. We got to go. We got to go. We got to go. I would burn everybody out. And then a fun job became, oh my God, another day. Oh my God, another day. So that's a lesson I learned is like we force at least 1 day off a week, but we recommend 2, but we force 1. No one's allowed to work 7 days a week anymore.
We had guys early on that were like, yeah, because we pay commission, right? So they're getting super hungry and they're blasting through jobs. I want to work Saturday. And then everyone else says, well, I want to work Saturdays too, because they don't want to miss out on the juicy jobs. And then it's, well, I'm going to work Sunday, load me up with something good. And then they're all starting to work Sunday. And you think they can handle it because they want it and they're asking for it. And you as a business owner, you want to continue to push that envelope and make more money. But yeah, it'll bite you in the butt because that's not sustainable.
No, we look like Christmas zombies walking around. It was like Halloween Town out there, but we were hanging in Christmas lights because it was all zombies. So,
and inevitably, that's like the worst part about taking weekend jobs is there's always going to be a problem and your phone is ringing and your phone's already ringing 15 hours a day and text messages, emails, phone calls. The last thing you want is to sit there and keep handling customers and employees on a Saturday or a Sunday.
Yeah. Now we do have a lot of clients that we have to decorate on Sundays here, but we know that, right? They're businesses and they're closed then. So, that's something we plan on. But yeah, for sure. You can just lose your entire, for real, I used to lose my entire life. It used to be September 30th. And then it was like February 1st. I'm like, where'd my life go? Like made all this money, but I don't know if I even enjoyed anything. I don't remember anything. That's for sure. Just poof, like gone. And that's not the right way to run a business. Not only does that burn your guys out, it burns you out quick. And it burns your family out and your friends out because you have no life. And it's more than just, I got to grind. Like you're nothing but in that business, on that business 24/7. Woo, man.
Now, get to that point and you're charging $4 or $5 a foot. You at least don't have a lot of money at the end of the season. Well, then it's even worse. And that's when those companies don't generally last and they'll sell to someone like us for much, much cheaper than they should because they're not profitable and they use crappy product. And then they're just done. I just want out.
Yeah.
I do not want another season. And then you don't have a business. There's really no worth to it.
Oh yeah. Again, this is my 16th year in Christmas. And I've seen a lot of companies pop up. And I've seen almost all of them go away. They usually last 2-3 years, like legitimately, and then they're gone. They don't charge enough. Period. They have no systems. It's not people get into Christmas thinking this is going to be easy. And yeah, it's easy when you have 10 clients. I will agree.
It's a good hillbilly accent.
Thank you.
16 years. Good guess.
Yes, sir. I've learned a thing or two along the way.
I want to end it on a thought, right? We're talking about Christmas and you and I just, we were Christmas guys before we were landscape guys. Yeah. But landscape lights is really just as profitable as Christmas lights. You just don't have the drinking from a fire hose effect that we get in November. But I encourage my entire team and me, myself, we are planting seeds almost on every Christmas quote to at least like the qualified clients that we do landscape lighting and, hey, this is how I would do that. We do a glow show, and we're at least planting seeds. Sometimes that lands into sales right then and there. Sometimes just plant seeds so we can follow back up with them in January so we can start loading up the calendar in February, March.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. Always be planting seeds because seeds take a while to grow sometimes.
Well said. All right, Kat. Anything else you got?
No, go check out lightingtradeschool.com. We are having our badass 3 Amigos training in February. I never remember the dates, but they are on the website, lightingtradeschool.com. We are at least halfway filled up. There is a limit. There's only so much that me, Shane, and Nate can do. So if you want to come, check it out. Or if you want to miss out.
There's only so much me, Shane, and Matt could do. Me, Matt, and Nate could do that we want to do, right? Like we want to be still have an intimate group, and we want you guys to walk away feeling you got a lot of one-on-one time and learned. So we're not just having 50 people there, or something crazy where we can't really get individualized attention. So there is a cap. I don't know if that's 20 folks or 30 folks yet, but I mean, there is a cap and we're over halfway full. If
I'm
you
the
ask
cat.
Nate, we're already full.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And I'm the cat. But yes, we want to know each and every one of your names. We're going to get to know you. Like, we aren't trying to train the world. Like, we're going to form a real relationship if you're at our training, because that is the way we train, and we feel it's the best way to train, is to get to know every single person, so that one-on-one attention can happen. So that way, if you excel in group learning, check. If you excel in one-on-one learning, check. So I'm excited. I know Shane's excited. I mean, I know Matt's excited. I mean, Shane, but anyway.
Hey, Matt. Well, we're both excited. It's going to come up quick, right? Because Christmas season is going to go by like that, and then boom, it's time to start heading to California for training.
Yeah. So check it out. There's you can pay all in full. You can do like a 4-month payment thing. Price is going up in another couple days. All right. Love you guys. Go make some money.
Deuce.